All right, there we go. Everyone's now popping in. How's it going, fellas?
What is up?
Not much. Let me just close that out. Open up Facebook for the live feed. And as always, it's Wednesday. You know what that means. It's time for your weekly dose of the pro wrestling injection right here on the Sports Hit List by the fans for the fans. As always, I'm here joined by my illustrious, steamed panel of co-hosts. We have Nick, Mr. No Days Off, and the Goon Christian. Before we dive right into this week's pro wrestling injection, we have to talk about some news that has come out, and that is regarding the Wrestling Entertainment Series, the brand that
We got to talk about this bullshit.
yes, we do. It's the brand that the authors of Pain are putting on. So in a statement released today by whoever their PR department is, because this show is a fucking PR nightmare if you've been following it. So the starters, this comes from the Drama King, Matt himself, who was from WWE. He stated first that they've been ghosting talent left and right. He asked for details, and they have not given him jack like shit recently. So there's that. But today they released a statement saying, "Dear fans and followers, unfortunately, we have to cancel the event scheduled for Saturday at the Motor Point Arena in Northern England." Nick just dropped out. He'll probably be back soon. We are deeply disappointed in the news that we have to share, but with so many talent not showing up, we have no choice than to cancel the event. That's going to be a fun thing to break down. Our team worked so hard on this event, day in and day out, for the fans to come with a different type of wrestling event, and believe that we still will be able to show that in the near future. We do want to say that all of our talent that were scheduled have been paid in full. Sure, they have. And that Leanne, whoever that,
Lena Finian, that's Nia Jax.
Okay, was paid her deposit as well, while she changed her mind and did not want to show up and wrestle anymore. For now, we will have to apologize for this and promise that we will not end here. See you soon.
Okay, all right. That's a bunch of bollocks. That's what I call a bunch of bollocks.
They didn't pay anyone.
I don't even want to like give them the time of day, because like this was a company that literally bought and promoted a 10,000 seat arena for their first show with based on like talent, like trust. It's like, that's not how you do it. Literally what this was guys who saw what the Young Bucks and Kenny did and Tony Khan did, say, hey, they did All In, why we could do it too. But it's like, if they did it but with none of the fucking years worth of buildup and like revolution behind it. This is, oh, let's try it, we'll do it. And then now we have a canceled event, unhappy talent, and now everyone's got to get a refund. So hey, Wes, good one.
Yeah.
That's the West drama. But yeah,
they
what
legit screwed. They screwed over so many people. They legit did like they actually ghost their talent.
To be honest, I'm glad this happened. I'm very glad this happened, because now talent and fans itself are going to be more cautious of what they're spending their money on and what they're booking the time for. So you know what, this probably needed to happen just as a reminder to some talent, some fans out there.
And to clarify, if they were paid or not, from my understanding, a lot of them were not paid.
Well, that I saw, I think from Sean said all the U.S. talent was paid, but all the U.K. talent wasn't. So
what the fuck. Okay.
Anyway, but I guess I just another piece of news here quickly on the New Japan side of things. There's going to be a press conference on July 7th, which is tomorrow. Well, tonight, 2 a.m. in the Eastern time. It's not going to be the standard G1 press conference, which is always entertaining. That's going to be later on next week. But this one's going to be talking about a lot of stuff. So I don't know what's going to be talked about here. If you've been following New Japan over the last 2 weeks after Forbidden Door, a bunch of guys on the New Japan side of things, they've been, because every time there's a match, they immediately after the match, they do the post-match promos. Um, you've had guys like El Desperado call out Mox. You've had Yoshihashi and Goto said they're still eyeing the AEW tag titles. You still had you have guys over there, I mean, who just like have loved AEW. Like Hiromu was talking how sad he wasn't able to team with Sting, but like all these guys still have AEW on the mind, and like they're still like I think a lot of them got that itch from the crowd reactions and how hot that show was that they
Yeah,
all just want to go back already. Like El Desperado
which
said on record he didn't want to go back to America because he had hellish travel, but here he is. He's going back to America because he never used to do it. He's going to America to do the New Japan Strong show. So
which
it's really
also
cool.
leads into another thing. We still are unaware of the All Out venue.
Yeah.
It's been
yeah,
because we know it's September 4th, but we don't know where.
It's usually in Chicago. It still could be in Chicago, but I understand why it probably isn't going to be. They just had Forbidden Door in the United Center, and why run a
Do two
show
shows
in
in a row.
Chicago and like one of and why run it if it's not in the United Center? Like I don't know if they want to do that so close to each other, which I wouldn't do to burn out the market, but I don't think they're going to do MSG yet. I think their best bet here is probably going to do Canada. I've heard that a lot of people saying do All Out in Canada and Toronto because they wouldn't have any trouble selling out that market because they
They
haven't been
wouldn't.
there
They
yet.
wouldn't.
And
They've also
basically,
tried to do a UK show before
yeah,
the pandemic.
yeah, that and like all the Canadian talent. And just because of Canada, I think my theory about this is that they are going to do it in Canada. And the reason they haven't announced anything is because they're still working on getting all the talent visas to get over there.
Yeah.
Because I mean, that's a huge market. And I guarantee you that, I mean, it's already been shown that like they've been doing great stuff in Canada. So
Oh yeah.
Canada and the UK, they got to go over there because they do big business over there.
It's odd that I think again, there's only two reasons why it's taking this long. One is what you said. I think Toronto could be an option they're trying to work through. And another one I think could be if Tony's trying to nail a stadium. If he's trying to land a stadium in Chicago, maybe there's extra paperwork and requirement stuff that he has to deal with. But I think that right now those are the only two things because it is randomly announced next week. Yeah, it's back at the Sears Center in Chicago where it's been the past like 3 years. It's like, what's the holdup? Like, there's got to be something else going on with the show. So they're not just going to randomly announce it. And I had someone who said, oh, maybe they need to wait to get back to, United Center to film promos. And like they were just there. They could have done them then.
Oh yeah, they definitely could have.
If they knew they were going to run the United States, they just would have done it there. So I didn't think.
And they would have announced it at Forbidden Door, but I don't know. It's interesting because it really is closer than we think. It's literally about a little over a month away.
Yeah, and they've moved around pay-per-views before. I remember the paper. I think last year's Full Gear was supposed to be in St. Louis, and they still haven't got a pay-per-view because they couldn't do it because it was the same night as a UFC pay-per-view. Which I mean, Tony said that would have been horrible for business.
It definitely would have been horrible for business.
Well, look at Tony Khan, smart, not running against UFC. What a concept
on Fight Week, that is.
Yeah.
But if they want to like move it back a week. If they just, I mean, that'd be fine, but I don't know how if they don't have a venue yet. So I don't think that'd be a problem. But if they do, we'll see. But as long as we have a pay-per-view to build to, so I think they'll be fine.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I think more things to cover, pending on scheduling for the G1, me and Christian and Nick, pending if Nick's available. We'll try to cover it if we're allowed to, of course.
Yeah, I think the best way to handle the G1, to be honest with you,
is to go through the finals, or maybe like the first day, then the finals.
Is if you wanted to, like, I think like the first, well, it's because the first day isn't going to be like normal first days, because first day you usually see, like, it's like you do the first day A block, the first day B block, but it's not like that. There's 4 blocks, so I think the best course of it is you do after the first 4 blocks. That's the beginning. That's like you do the beginning, and then during the halfway point you do that, and then the final blocks, because the final nights of block action are very, very important shows for New Japan. They're almost like after Mania type shows. A lot of big angles are shot there and on the final show itself. So and with this year, it's probably going to be one of the biggest. So yeah, so that's going to be very important to see. But yeah.
And
if anything, you guys can also use our Instagram to
oh
cover
yeah, of course.
smaller like nights if you want to pop on there for a live or just a couple stories, something like that.
Even our TikTok, because the TikTok kind of pro wrestling market is kind of huge right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess without further ado, let's just dive right into this Dynamite. This Dynamite to me, I kind of was hard for me to pay attention and actually watch it all the way through. I kept like scrolling through my phone a lot of times. But I will say, for the opener, first time we've heard MJF's name mentioned on TV since the nuke, which was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So hey,
to be honest, what it came off to me as is probably he was probably allowed to say it, but to me, that felt like you just said, "Oh, this is what happened."
I know, but still, it's still like a name that has been spoken in a month. Yeah. So it's something that is like kind of notable.
Yeah. I'm just like, I don't know, like, because like they could work with something, but like I don't want people to get all crazy about it yet, because it could have just been Excalibur saying last time Wardlow was in a TNT title match, he gets screwed by this guy, and he's probably just used to saying about at this point. But I don't know.
It's still just good to say and good to point out. Also, JR not on commentary for the opener. I think they're going to use him for the second half of Dynamite.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the staple for now on. So, I think that's a good move. It gets Taz on TV, which is always a great thing.
Oh yeah, Taz is great.
Yeah, so I'm actually glad. I don't think they need to give him an entrance every time. They save time, but yeah. So that's fun. Eddie is in status says, "What's your take on this guy?" Brain cramp. Matt Hardy about his brother being drunk. Christian Cage.
Okay.
Christian Cage.
We'll
get to it.
I'm indifferent though on that. I'm very indifferent.
We'll get to that segment when you got to keep you guys waiting. But anyway, the show started off with the TNT title match, which I was actually kind of surprised by. I thought it was gonna be towards the middle.
Yeah, they also clean up that confetti fast.
That was listen, shout out to the production team. But yeah, Wardlow versus Scorpio Sky. Wardlow came out by himself. Scorpio Sky had a bunch of American Top Team goons with him. Funny thing is they weren't American Top Team goons. They were Dark jobbers in American Top Team uniforms. Because I recognized one of them from Dark. So yeah,
that's why they're able to take bumps and throw work punches.
Yep. So I sniffed that out pretty quick, but this was a lot quicker than I thought it was going to be, and it was branded as a no disqualification match, but you didn't really see that much stuff. You saw like a belt shot, you saw the other guys getting involved, and that was really it for the
I thought we were going to see a lot more get involved.
I'm actually kind of glad they didn't, because it shows like Wardlow doesn't need that. But I will say in this match though, Wardlow hit a beautiful beautiful swanton bomb. Yeah. I don't know why I said
that was crazy. I've never seen him do that before.
He's done it like 3 times now. I think he did it. He forgot he did it against. He did it once on Dark. He did it once against somebody in a bigger match, and then he did it here. Yeah, it's very good. Actually, no, he hit it in the cage against Sean Spears. Yeah, it looks great.
So what's his belt gonna look like?
That's what I'm saying.
Are gonna change his belt now too? I mean,
well,
green trim, the kind of the green ribbon around the champion.
They spent all that money building Scorpio's purple and gold Lakers belt for what? For what? 3-4 weeks? I mean, it's like, this is why I don't like all the changing of the belts. This sounds just weird to me.
I see. They're gonna make a shit ton of money off of toys with this, though. I'll tell you that much.
Yes, of course.
Variants like Comic-Con exclusive TNT title, Scorpio Sky TNT Lakers title.
Well, also too, like the Etsy market shoots up every time there's a new the design for the TNT title.
Code. See, this the
Etsy market shoots up
because this has never been done before. This I've never seen like a custom title for like every champion.
Maybe like the rated R and then the spinner belt. Those were the only two.
But that's
not like every
rare.
person.
Yeah, those are very rare and like far and few in between. Cena had his spinner US and Edge had the spinner rated R belt, but like
which
smoking
was the
Scully.
most stupidest idea possible.
Hey, listen,
Spinner rated
that's
R.
listen, that spinner shit though. I remember being at my friend's house holding that fucking title, just spinning that shit away.
Well, listen,
that was
like,
the
well,
original fidget spinner, the
well,
WWE
listen,
title.
Okay, well, the WWE title I can live with, but like the design that we saw that Edge had made for
Edge's
his
belt
own
was
rated R title,
terrible.
no, it would have looked good.
I hated it.
Yeah, hot take. That looked terrible.
It looked garbage.
The one they end up using, which I have actually the replica of, is 10 times nicer than what Edge created.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, his look, because it looked like the IC belt, which is like
Edge looked like that's
what
like
he
a little
wanted to
kid
go
who
for.
made. It's like a little kid who took the belt, like the belt part off, and then slipped a piece of paper under the title, and then put a spinner. You should put the Twister spinner in there. That would be my title, the Twister belt, and then you have a little thing you can play a game with it. But anyway, Wardlow hits this swanton. He knocks off some of the guys and hits 3 power bombs on Scorpio Sky to win the TNT title. Wardlow is now your new TNT champion. I'm glad there was no tomfoolery. I'm glad there was no because I thought Scorpio was going to win just because of the drop of there's going to be 10,000 American Top Team guys there, and he's going to get screwed. And they're going to
and it being 4 dark guys.
Yeah, but I'm so glad that Wardlow got his stuff. I think we are finally out of the woods with this TNT title shit. Everybody who's been associated with the dark era of the TNT title is now gone. Scorpio is like the last chip to fall. And the thing about the TNT title that people talk about a lot, which I kind of agree to an extent with, but not really. I don't think like Sammy Guevara was like the worst champion ever, because if people forget, Sammy's first run with the belt before he lost it to Cody the first time was fucking great. He was having great matches when he was just a babyface. But I think the last time the TNT title was truly great was when
Miro had it.
No, not even. The last great TNT title moment was the ladder match, Cody's last match.
Yeah.
Because when Cody got it back, the crowd turned up, because this is the problem. It wasn't even like the TNT title itself. It was the people it was put on. They put it on Cody. The crowd turned against Cody. They put it back on Sammy. The crowd turned against Sammy. They put it on Scorpio. Scorpio wasn't over. They put it back on Sammy. People hated fucking Sammy at that point. So all this shit was just a clusterfuck of guys that the crowd didn't like. And now we got one of the most over guys in the company. So I think finally the TNT title is back. And what Nick said about the title design, I can see this being like red, or like having like his green reticle on it, or like having like wolves and shit on it, or like fire and something. But there is a picture that AEW tweeted out where Wardlow was holding the black belt, Sammy's black one, and Scorpio's Lego one. So we better not be in the era of 2 belts again, 2 TNT titles again.
No, it's funny. I think like that black one, which is like the most beautiful like design belt, I think that should be it. Like that, I think it's like the placeholder until your new one is ready. So then, like in a couple of weeks, he'll get a new one. But I think that it's very crucial who the next person to face Wardlow is. They can't just be some Joe Schmo guy off the streets. Like, it's got to be a top guy, which I mean, right now there's not many of them because a lot of guys are hurt. But
in their own angles right now.
Somebody who could lose.
And like I don't really want to see, like, as much as I like him, I don't want to see like a Darius Martin or like a guy like that, like a lower tier guy right now going for the belt. Hopefully this leads to MJF's return one day down the line, not anytime soon, but who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, I think it's just like he needs heels that he could beat that wouldn't be affected that much. And I don't know who you could do that like yet. I don't know like where just on the roster who you got for that yet.
Unless you do what Cody did during the COVID era, just have like an open challenge every other week.
I could see them bringing back the open challenge because of Wardlow being this nice baby face, and that's a very big baby face thing to do with the open challenge. So
bring in some guys from the indies. Do that.
Yeah, I can see the open challenge coming back, but they got to be.
You mean Warhorse versus Wardlow?
You could have the open challenge, but the problem is, it's like when they were doing the stuff with W. Morrissey. It was originally going to be Killer Cross, but you can't bring in Killer Cross to job out the Wardlow.
Well, no, I'm talking about like bring back guys like Warhorse, bring guys like give some of the Cap guys a chance too. Like they definitely are decent guys on the out there. Bring in Tony Depp in,
But
for Christ's sakes.
I'm thinking of like, I'm thinking of like in the future, like maybe like all out time, like when he needs like a viable contender.
Well, it's like at that point, there's gonna be another ladder match. Who's gonna face him?
Or
there.
if he defends on the show, I don't know, because I don't want him in the ring with a House of Black guy yet. I don't want him in the ring with some guy from the Blackpool Combat Club. I want some guy that he could beat that is not going to be affected that much.
Matt Menard.
Listen, after that promo, fucking count me in. I mean, shit. He had a promo of his life on
he did. It was
Road 2.
Perfect. So following that, we did have
the Mox
promo
for the
Mox promo.
I love the setting of Mox Mox in the boiler room just cutting a promo on some evil House of Black guy. But he was just kind of promo on him. I just wanted to say that. But
I also
on Twitter.
I finished the Mox book. Best book I've ever listened to. So good. So many deep stories that he's mentioned. Well, yeah,
I just started it. I'm like an hour and a half in, but but on Twitter earlier, Mark Sterling, AW tweeted out a video of Mark Sterling and Tony Nese with a petition to, for some reason, of removing Swerve from the roster because they just don't like him. So it's called Pass: The People Against Swerve Strickland, which, listen, this was so fucking stupid, but it's so funny and so good. But
I can't wait to talk about the segment after.
So on Twitter, he has Tony Nese sign it, and then he goes up to Swerve and Hobbs, and not Swerve, Starks and Hobbs, and then they're all giddy about it, like sign me up. But then they do it on the show with they run into Keith Lee, having him sign it. But yeah, this was just a fun little segment here. I guess they're gonna do Tony Nese and Swerve, or they're gonna facilitate Mark Sterling and them just to try to like break them up a little bit. So,
but after that, we did have the Christian promo.
Oh boy!
So to pretty much to answer your question, Eddie, like for me personally, and I'm saying very personally, I don't think it's a good idea to bring up these issues in promos. Yes, it's a very good heel thing for them to do, but it's never a great thing to do. That's just me talking.
See, this was the second biggest amount of heat on this show. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
The first instance later, which I was actually pissed off about. But this if this was cleared by Matt, and if this was cleared by Tony, and if this was cleared, I don't know if they asked
by
Jeff,
all parties.
I don't know if they asked Jeff. They probably did. He is in rehab, so I don't know if they have contact with him. But if they did need to get a hold of him, they probably could have.
Pennington's like, if you listen to the Mox interview on Sessions, he said, depending on how well you do, like after a week or two,
they give you your phone. Yeah, listen to that.
They give you your phone back to contact people. So that all depends if he got his phone back or not.
Yeah. So if they cleared it up with him, then I no problem. But and I think anyway, Christian and Jeff have been friends, have known each other for that long that it probably is okay at that point. But
and also, like, if they weren't
I'm fine
okay
with it, because I don't really care.
And if they weren't okay with it, I don't think Tony would have approved it.
It would have aired.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it would have aired if there was a problem. So I don't think
it's just me personally. Like, I don't like it that much, because one, we all saw what happened when someone's sobriety gets mentioned in story. It really fucks them up. Like, that's just my opinion. Mm-hmm. But
the only reason I'm fine with it is because he kept going, and by him, like, he like said it about maybe 3 or 4 times. By him like keeping going, it's like, all right, it's not. If it was one line, it's like, oh, but after that, it's like, yeah, it's probably fine. But and to be honest, I don't think they probably should either. But anyway, I have no sympathy. Listen, I love Jeff until the day he's done, but that guy has no sympathy for me anymore about what he's doing, because this is too many times already. And listen, I'm not to get personal, but I've seen it firsthand of that issue, and I've lived with it for a long time, and I've seen it. So
Yeah.
and I've lost all sympathy a long time ago. So yeah, but it's a slippery slope. But if you're not okay with it, then I get it.
Nick,
But
any follow up?
But I say this is one of the best parts about Dynamite each week.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's like you said, it's something that it wouldn't be there if it wasn't approved. So,
the thing is though about these Christian promos, I'm excited for that. He's one of the best parts about the show right now, and I'm excited for Christian's promos each week, because this is what, the third week now he's been cutting promos and he's been saying outlandish shit. Like this was probably the worst of it. I mean, he's fucking hilarious. I was saying, all right, which one is worse? Jeff Hardy's sobriety or him wishing Jungle Boy's family to die, and then he wants to steal his mom. So,
Potato.
Yeah. So he basically said he was talking about Jeff. He's belittling Matt about Jeff. He's belittling him, saying he wants is to be in the headlines. I like the way he said you have to use your lawnmower and your father-in-law and your dilapidated boat to get in the headlines, and your wife and your kids, because you're a freak. But yeah.
Well, to be honest, like if you don't know, the wife line's a bit of a deep cut, because Reby is crazy.
Reby goes crazy. Sometimes Reby gets a little too over her head about some of this shit.
I'm pretty sure that if she wanted to, she would hop the barricade and like beat his ass. But
yeah,
Reby is crazy on Twitter and on TikTok. She has no chill.
Yeah. Well, did you see the one she really posted a TikTok? It was like the week, it was like the day or a couple days after the Jeff Hardy incident when he got arrested, and she was like, it's like when you spend all week worrying about your husband being in another match. And then Jeff Hardy.
So if his wife is even making fun of it, then it's like, all right. So,
it's because I think Reby also has been like witnessed a firsthand of it.
Yeah, she's tired of it
on an extreme level.
And like I feel bad because she also put out TikTok, like people are commenting saying, "Oh, you enable him," but
and then she brought up how like they babied him the entire day.
How she she made sure he had no drink. She made.
All right. So she made sure he had no drinks. So just that, that I don't know how to recover from that, but that was listen, Jeff Hardy. I thought Zach, you just froze for a moment. I thought I had to do the show.
No.
But
no, I was looking at the message that Nick just sent. He doesn't know why his computer keeps shutting off.
Yeah. But anyway,
man, that was
Christian and Luchasaurus end up attacking Matt, and then Matt they put Luchasaurus chokeslamming Matt through a table. And
so like, do we still think that like that Luchasaurus is working Christian at this point? Sure. Or are we
the shirt, Christian's shirt said "work everyone."
Also, so Marco wasn't aware of the comment that was going to be made, and he said personally he finds it kind of lame the way they used it.
I disagree. I liked it.
It's interesting. It's like, wait, is Jungle Boy responsible for this in kayfabe?
Mm-hmm. I like it. I disagree with him. I liked it because it made it feel more real.
It's also it's his opinion because it's his name being thrown into a story without him knowing anything. Yeah. So I give it the benefit of the doubt. I need to open up the skin to keep my eye on when Nick rejoins. Yep. Following that, we had
the Butcher and the Blade versus Swerve and Glory.
This was fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of
botches.
This was a good this was a good match. There was like, I wouldn't even say like botches because they didn't mess up any moves. It's just they were like, their timing was off. Like that, like there was a lot of miscommunication. Like when they would have to like run the ropes towards each other, like they would be off. Like their timing would be off. They weren't like messing up moves. They weren't Shotzi in the Money in the Bank match, but they were. They
got ratioed off Twitter for that.
Listen,
she legit got ratioed, man.
Listen, I don't like that shit on Twitter, like people knocking people, because listen, wrestling is a hard thing to do, and these people on Twitter
But
have never done it.
but
But listen,
she opened the floodgates, man.
listen, she did, because after Blood and Guts, when she made fun of Jericho, her time was coming. I mean, she made fun of Jericho, and then Jericho clapped back at her, and then she got that little Twitter clap for about a day, and then now she's here getting bullied off of Twitter because her shitty performance. But
Okay, so now we can confirm. Let's not talk about Rebby anymore because that kills Nick's connection.
Rebby just dossed Nick.
I'm pretty sure that she's tapped in to like my IP or something.
Got DDoSed. Well, maybe it was Zack Sabre Jr.
I mean, he wouldn't. He can't win shit. No way he win the fight against him.
Jesus. Okay.
Tossa.
So Swerve and Our Glory picked up the victory. After that, we had Starks and Hobbs come out. Hobbs' shirt. Hobbs' shirt.
I'm still not used to Hobbs. Yeah, that's that. The I Break Backs. Yeah, that they just released that shirt like last month. That's his like first shirt, I think.
That's so out of pocket, man.
Starks like running up and down the ramp while he's cutting his promo was hilarious. That's just like
he was. Dude, it reminded me of
like a young Ric Flair. Like,
you know what? That's what I'm saying. He reminded me of the Jay Lethal Ric Flair promo where he started wooing and he started elbow knee dropping the coat. That's what it reminded me of. But Ricky was gonna listen. Ricky is the future. Ricky is gonna be an A1 talent for them in the future. With him falling out of his shoes, cutting his promo was the funniest shit ever. He is a national treasure. This guy, Ricky Starks. He is fantastic. But then the Young Bucks come out. And they start
because they mentioned the greatest tag team in the world. Because Hobbs and Stark were like, yeah, we're the best tag team in the world. Then cue the Young Bucks.
And listen, I'm very excited for this because I really don't think the Young Bucks have been in the ring with all four of these guys before. Like any of them, have they? I don't remember seeing the Young Bucks. I know for a fact. I know that for a fact the Bucks never been in there with Swerve and Hobbs.
Well, yeah, because
I don't know if they've on the Indies they did.
The Bucks, they never wrestled single matches on the Indies, so unless those guys tagged somebody, then no.
I know even individually. I don't know if they're in the ring with Swerve or Keith Lee in just regular matches.
Like I said, the Bucks never wrestled anything but tag matches on the Indies.
Yeah, this is another first time thing.
That's
because I try to look at like even like just to throw like maybe like the Bucks versus Starks and Cage when that happened. Nope. They have not wrestled at all.
Nice. That's cool. That's the fun part. This is going to be a first time meeting between these teams, but the Bucks did say they get because they referenced the Double or Nothing match with it was Hobbs and Starks, Swerve and Keith, and Jurassic Express. Oh my God!
Nick, no. Nick needs to take the L tonight. I'm sorry, Nick.
He's taking an L, but
he's probably gonna take the L tonight.
This is what happens when you slander Zack Sabre Jr. on this program. Swerve, but the Bucks has basically said, let's do triple or nothing. So they're gonna do a triple threat tag match next week, and it's confirmed it's gonna be Fighter Fest night one next week. It's gonna be the Young Bucks versus Team Taz versus Swerve and Our Glory for the AEW tag team titles, which is a very fun match, very appealing match, very appetizing. Very excited for that.
Yeah, I'm digging more like just to 100% fact check. Yeah, they have not fought, which is like so weird in the time that AEW's been around. Is that Nick saying he's?
I don't know what's going on. He gets to finish up. It's just my computer's being so fucking annoying. We'll miss you. Love you, Nick. That's what happens. It's never the person. It's always the technology. They always say technology is so fucking advanced, but it's always shitting out on everybody. What's going on here?
Yeah,
getting jobbed out to technology tonight.
Yeah, just so even like in the because they had those multi tags like even back like I think last year.
Mm-hmm.
No, even during the pandemic era, you had like the Natural Nightmares, Bucks, FCR, best friends,
Yep.
and
But,
then even in the opener, Private Party, Bucks, Butcher Blade, Alex and Silver
yeah,
never fought.
that's awesome. But anyway, after that, we had a short little Kingston promo, basically saying congratulations to the whole Blood and Guts team who won. Little note about Santana beforehand. Tony Khan did do an interview today, and he was asked about Santana. He did say he didn't specify the injury, but he did say that Santana's going to be out for a while. So best of luck to him. It did look like it probably the ACL, MCL. That's probably 6 to 9
Ortiz
months.
can have a good singles run, and I think he
Yeah.
can have a decent singles run
But
for the time being.
yeah, we'll see. But we had this Eddie Kingston promo. Kingston basically congratulated everybody, and then he said, "Chris Jericho, you didn't bleed. I didn't taste your blood, so now I gotta get you. I gotta get you." So him and Chris Jericho are not finished, which I'm actually kind of glad about because I've been loving this feud. But
Then we
anyway,
cut to backstage.
yeah, Jericho's like Kingston.
Kingston.
The wizard has projected himself onto the Titantron somehow due to magic, but he's in the back. And all I hear is Ty Conti screaming in the back. I'm like, probably fucking Ruby's getting beat up and sure as shit.
I thought it was gonna be Angelo Matt Menard were holding her down and Jericho's gonna throw a fireball in her face.
No,
I was like, oh my god.
It wouldn't matter because Ruby's hair looks fucking red as shit anyway. But this was the best. So they pan out of Jericho, and you have the door open. You have because Ty slammed the door into Ruby's arm. That was the gimmick here. So Ty is like holding her arm up against the door, and Ty's ready to kick it, and Jericho's right there. But fucking Cool Hand Ange is sitting on the hood like this, combing his hair with his little switchblade comb, and Daniel Garcia is in his Kangol with his foot up with his arms crossed on next to the door. And I'm like, these are the fucking corniest guys on this whole roster. This shit
They're
was so
sports entertainers.
so sports entertainment. Literally, Garcia is like this, like this. But yeah. So
I would love to know, how do they gimmick that spot, because that shit just sucks.
Ruby gets a little fucked up here. But interesting here, Sammy wasn't here. Sammy wasn't in the segment. Sammy was not there, and I it's hard pressed to find Sammy Guevara nowhere near Ty Conti. I don't think I've seen them separated besides in the ring, which is a few far between. So I don't know where the hell he was. Hopefully he's good. I think he's fine. I don't think he got hurt from that bump at Bullet.
I don't think he got messed up. But I'm just so curious on how they gimmick that spot.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the worst thing to take, because what Dustin took it during the first run of AEW.
Yeah.
And now
Nick Jackson took it too, before Blood and Guts, because that's how they're gonna like the original Blood and Guts.
It was throwing the garage on him.
Yeah,
that's easy to gimmick though.
Yeah. TNT changed their Twitter bio to they have like is our champion.
Yeah.
Now it's just all caps. We are living in Wardlow's world. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. But anyway, after that,
I'm still waiting for Botchamania to make the Elmo's world thing on it. Yeah, I think
he did.
Did they do that yet?
I think he did. I remember seeing it, or it was somewhere else. But anyway, after this, we had the little Dark Order segment, which was actually very cool because they were in Rochester tonight. They were in the hometown of the late great Mr. Brody Lee. So it's always nice to have a little Dark Order segment on the Rochester show. They had -1 out there. The whole what's left of the Dark Order out there today with Stu and Alan Angels departing.
Well, also AEW has not re-signed Colt Cabana.
Really?
They're trying to work to get him to be in ROH.
That's what I was thinking. I thought he was.
They're working on it, but it's not yet set in stone. His contract expired, hence why he wasn't there tonight. Because an hour before Dynamite went live, he went live on Twitch. So
okay,
I was like, that's kind of weird. Is he like from a hotel?
Listen,
locker room?
I don't know what's going on there, but I really have a hard time believing he's probably not going to be in it. He's definitely going to be involved in Ring of Honor in some way
like
when it really starts getting up and running.
Yeah, that's like what everyone wants him to do. They want him either to be a backstage hand or because he's the most liked guy backstage.
Yeah, like a producer or agent. He could wrestle still. He already wrestled in the first show they had. So
yeah.
But anyway, in this segment, they were cutting a promo saying that Dark Order is forever, even if they like, because like Anna,
all 6 of us are here to stay.
Yeah, like Anna has been doing her own stuff, like her Titantron and like her graphic stuff doesn't have the Dark Order stuff on it. She usually comes out in her old like star of the show gear and stuff. Silver's been doing stuff on his own, but like him and Silver are still a tag team and stuff. Like Silver's Reynolds and Silver. But yeah, so we'll see about that. But here comes QT Marshall. And he's saying like, "Oh, how long we got to put up with this charity case like this?" But I knew what was going on here.
Big heat tonight on everyone.
Yeah, but then Brody Jr. needed to be held back because he said, "You take a lot after your mom." I don't know what that means, but so they started beating up. Then Hangman comes out. They all start beating up QT, and then all of a sudden they hand the mic to Brody Jr. Who said, "I'm gonna wait until I'm 19." So Brody Lee Jr. has got 10 years left until he could he still has a contract, but he's got 10 years until he can actively wrestle.
I thought it was 9 years. I thought he's 10 now.
Oh yeah. He's 10.
Because like I saw someone on Twitter was like, imagine if he said, "I'm gonna wait till I'm 18 to kill you."
No, I thought he was gonna, because he like kind of ended abruptly, but I mean it's a 10-year-old kid. I'm not expecting a big promo from him. I wish he just would have said bitch, because that would have popped the crowd.
His mom would have never allowed that.
Yes, she would have. What are you gonna say? You like? What are you gonna
do? Just one curse word. No, like they showed video packages of him riding the guy like a horse and pantsing QT.
Dude, if he said bitch on live TV, I doubt you Amanda wouldn't be complaining about all the merch sales with him saying bitch on it with the t-shirts and merchandise after
and
that.
And the memes that would have been created.
Yeah, let's say that would have been fine. It would have been a funny moment. Kids say the darndest things. But
yeah, but I think because like I think Amanda is very, very restricted on him, to be honest.
Listen.
That's just like that's just from what I've seen via like her talking on social media.
But when you were 10, you didn't let one fly a little bit against orders.
To be I don't know, man. It's his world.
Unbelievable. Oh, speaking of goody two shoes, I just started watching The Boys, and now I can't get Cody Rhodes out of my head.
Oh, it's right. Yeah, because Frenchie wore the shirt once.
Homelander.
Homelander and Frenchie wore an Elite shirt in one episode.
He did?
He does. Like, depending on what season you're up to.
I just finished season 1.
I think season 2, like Frenchie wears an Elite shirt.
Oh shit! I'll be on the lookout for that. Holy shit! But
I forgot which one. I think it's Kenny's. I'm not sure. Yeah, but yeah, Homelander. Okay. So now you get the. Okay, so now
because I'm like this guy is fucking Cody Rhodes. I'm like Jesus Christ.
So now you get
it. I can see where I get it. I knew he was like kind of like a fucked up superhero, but I didn't think it was like that bad. But it's like
it gets worse. It gets.
I get it now. But the many failures of Tranquilo Club. But what's it called? After this, we had a match that was announced an hour before the show that I was very, very excited for. Very hyped because Tony just puts these matches out. I'm like, Jesus Christ, Tony, why are you booking one of the best matches you'll ever see on live television just randomly an hour before the show? But next we had Roosh in his singles in-ring debut versus Penta Oscuro, and this shit was stiff. This was one of the stiffest matches all year. These guys were fucking hitting each other. They were laying their shit in.
Also, my lord. This was the best picture of Alex Abrahantes and Juan just beating the shit out of each other.
Alex, fucking hilarious. He got his shit in tonight. He wanted to fight. He was ready to go. QVC did not give him his paycheck tonight, and he was ready to go. So
beating the crap
get
out
on
of him.
Alex. And you got Ray Phoenix and Andrade are trying to hold these guys back. The two helpers, but yeah.
Then also like Ray and Andrade were like, hey, Hey, keep him back. No, you keep him back.
Like dogs. But anyway, the match was good. They chopped the shit out of each other, almost like akin to a Suzuki match. There was a cool spot where Roosh basically stood on Penta's shoulders, was Penta was sitting in the corner,
right, and he was just
and
like
started
jumping.
like shaking, and yeah, that was really cool. So Penta hit the fear factor on Roosh, and then Andrade put his foot on the rope, and that broke up the count.
And whoever was in the front row, hard cam side, saw Penta's face.
Yeah, so after that, Penta got his mask ripped off, and he got a low blow. He got rolled up for the victory. Roosh wins, and he takes Penta's mask with him.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. After the Bucks and the tag team segment, we had the FTR talking about.
Yeah,
that was later. Oh, yeah, I think that's after this.
No, that was after the women.
Oh, that's right. Mm-hmm. I did not pay attention to that women's match. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm on the Twitter. So,
but yeah, so whoever was in the front row hard cam side saw Penta's face.
Mm-hmm.
So that's rough. You have two different cups.
It was quick enough, but
wait, do you have two different tumblers right there? Two different cups.
I always have two cups. I've had two cups every time I was on the show. I had to retire my Undisputed Era one.
What? Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That's the last time
I have my two, but I don't use these that much.
That was the last. That was like the greatest thing I've ever bought from WWE.com. That shit lasted me. That was the greatest cup I ever had. That lasted me like 3 years. You could leave water. Listen, if the zombie apocalypse ever comes, I'm buying a shit ton of those and filling them up because those things like stay cold for like 3 days. It's crazy.
All right.
But anyway, after this, we had the announcement. All the graphics are ready and everything. This was actually pretty cool. We have the announcement for some matches at Ring of Honor,
Before
Death Before Dishonor.
These graphics look sick.
Yeah, I love the new logo.
Because they look so like
it looks comic bookish.
It's also back to the underground type feel.
Yeah,
as well.
Like the black and red, not the silver bullshit anymore.
It was this was such good stuff. You have Samoa Joe taking on Jay Lethal.
And Lethal cut a quick promo about this.
Yeah. And then also we have
Wheeler Yuta versus Daniel Garcia, which is built up on Dark, which I was very excited. I'm like, this is going to be a great match. That's what I wanted. That's going to be a fucking technical masterclass. I can't wait for that. Wheeler Yuta and Daniel Garcia, two of the young killers going at it. I can't wait. That's going to be great.
I would love to see this as the ending. So like, of course, I have a feeling that like Yuta is going to retain.
Oh yeah,
but just like have like Regal come down, stare down Garcia.
I don't think
slap
they could
his
do it.
face and then leave.
I don't think they could do it yet. I think it's too soon.
It's too soon, but I want like a seed planted right now.
Yeah,
because the Sammy stuff is like back and forth. We don't really know.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. We don't even know if Garcia is ever going to be in there. That's just like a presumption that was made beforehand,
and a fucking hope,
and a prayer from Bryan Danielson. So listen, it might happen, it might not, but if it does, that'd be a great time to do it. But after this is the most fucked up moment on this show of this year. This was a fucking catastrophe, and this was a. This should be listen. The ass boy should be arrested. This was a crime against humanity and a crime against the fans.
Didn't before this we had Orange Cassidy with Sterling and Nice?
Yes. So the Orange Cassidy's playing
like patty cake
with one hand against Trent and Chuck in their rainbow tie-dye jumpsuits, tracksuits, and here comes Mark Sterling and Tony Nese trying to get them to sign the pass petition. So
I don't sign things out my lawyer.
And then Orange Cassidy goes, I don't sign things without my lawyer. And then here comes Orange Cassidy's lawyer, Danhausen, with a suit jacket on.
The way Sterling sells, he goes, "Oh, come on!"
Overruled. It's like, what do you mean overruled? I'll let it stand.
Hearsay.
They left. They were definitely watching the Depp Heard trial because I know a lot more terms. Objection, hearsay. Objection, relevance. I hope somebody does that in a promo. Somebody's kind of promo. Objection, relevance. They can't talk about it anymore. But
But it was just like so. Pretty much was like, okay, fine. If Tony Nese beats you, you sign the petition. Deal.
Yeah, so now we have Orange Cassidy versus Tony
And then-
Nese on Rampage.
And then Orange Cassidy goes back to playing patty cake, and then just Danhausen was so confused.
We'll make lots of monies. But anyway, this Ass Boys segment. So here comes the Acclaim. Their music hits. JR goes, yo, listen. So we got more JR rapping than Max on the show.
So depending on what you watch, though, it's either JR is gonna do it, and if you watch Rampage, I think Big Show does it, right?
Yo. Matt Hardy, Mark Henry goes, oh, yo, listen, I'm listening.
It's been too long since we had an incident happen on Dynamite.
The Suzuki incident should never happen again.
We had the Max Caster incident.
We had the Acclaim incident. Max
Caster. I wanted to hear these fire bars.
Saying. Max, the most exciting part of the most exciting entrance in the company. Just get ready for it. The crowd, every time they pop huge for this guy to hear what kind of bars he's going to be spitting. Max goes to spit his bars. Austin Gunn, the Ass Boys, take the mic from Max right out of his hand. This shit got nuclear heat in this building. Nuclear. Ooh. These people were fucking pissed off. And I was too. How dare you interrupt a Max Caster diss track entrance? I've never seen this happen before, and I never want to see it happen before. Frankly, this is an international incident, and quite frankly, this is bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you, Ass Boys. Yeah, I hate him. I hate him. How dare you?
See, I was a fan of the Ass Boys, and then after this
was not right.
They just threw it out right. They just lost.
Probably working on his bars, custom bars. You got Leon Ruff in the ring, who he's never spit a bar on. You got the Bears in there.
Fuego.
You got Fuego in there, which is always a good bar. And he fucking takes the mic. Are you kidding? What's happening here? I think they should be released and fired. That's what I think. Should suspended without pay and sent to sensitivity training because I'm offended.
Nah. They should be subjected. They should be subjected to a year with Nick Khan as their boss. Subjected to a year of that, if they last that long.
This is bullshit. I'll never forgive them for this. Never. But anyway, the match was a little short. A little dissension here between the Ass Boys and the Acclaimed. A lot of dissension. Tags were being made in and out without their consent. So there was a tag assault in this match. But ended up they
put on a t-shirt.
Max hit the mic drop, and then he wasn't the legal man, so Austin came in and got the pin. After that, we had a little spat between the groups, and here we go. The Acclaim finally get attacked by the Ass Boys, and they were praying for that
comes the biggest anime portrayal in the history of our sport.
Oh, come on.
You have Daddy Ass he clotheslines Max, and then you see Bowens just reaching up.
He wants to scissor him. He wants to scissor him, but there would be no cigar.
And then Famouser.
Yeah, Famouser. And so the family is back together. The Ass Boys.
My heart's broken right now.
Big Daddy Ass are now back full of blood.
What they went through in Vegas. As said. Everything they went through in Vegas.
I'm going to make a bold prediction, which is kind of not a prediction because I stole it from Solomonster, who I was listening to. So it's kind of just relaying his point, which I actually could see this. So now, which they kind of already were, but the Acclaimed are full-fledged baby faces now. After this. They are full-fledged baby faces. This was Solomonster's idea. And I actually subscribe to this. This is a very long-term thing. This is not anytime soon. This is probably broaching April to July of next year, where this could probably pay off.
Okay.
The Young Bucks are the tag champions. Young Bucks versus FTR at All Out or Full Gear. Anytime. FTR defeats the Young Bucks for the belts. FTR has an FTR style run. They have a big ass run with these tag belts, better than their first one. The best thing to do when for somebody to beat FTR is a hot young tag team that's over. The most hot young tag team in this company is the Acclaimed. Yes, they're not the best tag team in the company, but they're the most over. If you want to, near the end, if you want to have a team beat FTR, I think right now, your best bet is the Acclaimed.
Okay, I can live with that.
Listen, this is a fucking year-long thing. This is very long. We don't know what's going to happen in a year. This could change in next week.
Yeah.
But if you want a hot young tag team in there to beat FTR, to establish a new tag team on the scene, I think the Acclaimed would be a good choice. So that's relaying his idea, and I kind of see where he's coming from with that one.
But not stick around too long because it's 11. We don't want to step on anyone's time, just in case, as always.
Yeah, we had an overrun tonight too. So
yeah, so hey, overrun on Dynamite, overrun here.
Yep, it's about like 10 minutes. But after this, we had the Miro promo. This guy is on the most religious conquest crusade I've ever seen. This guy is trying to fight God. Now he's trying to fight fucking devil, like
Pagans.
He's Cuphead. He's trying to fight the devil worshippers that are in this company. This guy, I mean, shit. It's like, Jesus, Miro, what is wrong with this guy? This guy might as well be in Stranger Things at this point.
Oh, and in case you guys are wondering where the All Atlantic Championship is, it's overseas. It's being defended.
Oh yes,
everywhere.
Pack. This is what my idea came to fruition. Have this belt defended on all these different types of indies against all these different types of opponents, and post them on YouTube on a dark or something. You got Pac's first All Atlantic title defense against Shota Umino, the shooter, in Rev Pro. He also has a match at a British indie against a guy actually who I'm not familiar with. So listen, that's a great way to get AEW more exposure, to get these new indie guys more exposure, the title. This is a great thing. So very happy about that.
That is true, Mike. The double or nothing overrun, that was painful to freaking go through during that night.
I couldn't. Dude, that was crazy.
So bad.
But anyway, Miro and Malachi, that's gonna be a great little feud. And Miro is technically a heel, but everyone loves him, so I'm excited to see him fight the House of Black.
I was kind of hoping to get like Combat Club House of Black for a bit.
We still might.
Yeah, we might, but we have the speed bump of Miro currently.
I get that, but here's the thing about that. I think they probably, when they do the trios belts, I think that could be saved for like a trios belts tournament final. Blackpool Combat Club versus House of Black for the trios titles in the final. I think that'd be a hell of a match. Listen to this shit, right? Listen to this shit. Danielson, Mox, Claudio, or Yuta. Malachi, Brody King, Buddy Matthews. That's a match fucking year. Yeah, dude, them in a PWG style match, forget it. Dude, they pulled a damn match of the night contender in Revolution with fucking Eric Redbeard. What do you think you can do with Danielson, Claudio, and Mox or Yuta? Unbelievable shit. But anyway.
Speaking of Claudio, he's having a match at Fyter Fest.
The Real Americans Implode
with Jake Hager. That's okay.
The Real Americans Implode. So listen, they saw the reaction at Blood and Guts that got, so I might as well book a match. Got a big reaction. You did a little one-off match. Not going to be a feud. Just going to be a little one-off match. No harm done. It's early in Claudio.
It's going to be a fun one-off match.
Yeah, and it's a quick win for Claudio. So there's no wrong.
Yeah,
nothing wrong with that. But
other matches are
we had puns galore. We had Tony Storm versus Marina Shafir and Nyla Rose.
So we have Thunderstorm versus the Beast Problem.
Yeah. Nyla and Marina came out with fucking umbrellas. Like, why are they out here with umbrellas? I'm like, oh yeah, the wrestling Thunderstorm. I
swear,
if you were watching Rampage when Excalibur said Thunderstorm for the first time, Dude, it sounded like Jim Ross wanted to kill this guy. Like, good one, you. But yeah, it was.
But
Real
like
funny,
I
yeah,
swear
thunderstorm.
on
But
everything that is
listen,
holy, for my brother in Christ, Tony Khan, do not have a women's tag team title. For the
belts. Do
love
not
of
do it.
God.
Yeah, I don't want it. I don't want that shit. It never works, and it's just a dumb idea. There's
Like,
no such
will this
thing as
help the women's
tag
division?
division. It doesn't
Probably.
exist. You don't have enough women for it. And you don't have enough money for it.
Just for the love of God, don't do it, Tony, because we know you watch. We
Don't
we
do
know
it.
you watch somehow. Don't do it.
Don't do that shit. It's not
Don't
worth it.
do it.
I
But,
just saw FTR just posted a picture. I didn't realize this. He posted a picture that said Pinnacle, FTR, and Wardlow are champions. So that's three fifths of the Pinnacle.
the Pinnacle
with
still
titles.
a thing?
So yeah, so let's between the Pinnacle, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 belts. So
Jeez.
and Max and Sean are nowhere to be found. But anyway, listen, Tony and Thunder Rosa, yeah, I don't want women's tag belts, but shit, they worked as a hell of a team here.
They work really
were
well
working
together.
great together. They were doing double team spots. They had a tag finish. They were doing what they did. Tony got on they did like a whisper in the wind type of deal. They were working great. Listen, they already had a women's tag tournament before in the early pandemic. I wouldn't have a problem with them doing it again.
Yeah. Bring that back for that thing.
Yeah,
because that was a good thing.
Because they won the medals. Like they won medals.
Yeah.
Even Lisa Diamante won. There's no need to have titles. Just win the medals. Have like a yearly thing and win medals, like a short little tournament.
Have it be kind of like an Andre the Giant Battle Royal type thing.
Like, and listen, because that shit, like after
have like a Dusty Rhodes Classic type.
thing. Yeah. After Rosa and Tony, they were working so great as a team. Like I wouldn't have a problem with seeing that now because they were working so great. I want to see them tag more, which is kind of cool. But anyway, Thunderstorm won, and that was really it for that. So, and that was up to, and then we got the announcement of Jade. Jade was in the back, and then we have the announcement which we speculated on last week that Layla Gray is now the new interim baddie. So now in the summer of interims, we now have the interim AEW World Champion. We've had the interim TNT champion earlier. Yeah, the interim TNT champion earlier in the year. We have the interim fucking CEO of WWE. Yeah, now we have the interim baddie. So I don't know what the next interim is going to be. We're in the summer. We thought it was going to be the summer of Punk, but we're in the summer of interims. So
it's and we got matches announced for Rampage. We have Takeshita versus Kingston. That's going to be a good match.
I audibly went ooh when I saw it. Kingston versus Takeshita. That's fucking.
That's going to be really good.
Yeah.
What is it?
We have Orange Cassidy and Tony Nese. Mercedes Martinez and Serena Deeb are going to tag, and we also have
something else. I'm trying. It escapes me.
Yeah, I'll look for it. But anyway, here comes.
It's time.
We have the announcement of FTR. They cut a promo backstage.
Yes.
They said, "Listen, we don't have a match at Death Before Dishonor, but let's run it back. Let's do number 2." FTR versus Briscoes 2 at Death Before Dishonor for the Ring of Honor tag titles. Holy shit.
Jim Cornette's gonna come.
That just sold some pay-per-views. You know why? Because that was the match of the year so far, and we're about to get part 2. And
that was the tag team match of the year.
Oh, I think that's just the match of the year in general right now.
Fair.
I think probably right now for me, that's my match of the year. That match was excellent, and I can't wait for number 2. It's gonna be even better. So, but now it's time for the main event. As we get into that, I'll look for the Rampage.
Yeah, so we open up with Brody King coming out. I loved so JR does his famous talking all of the House of Black through their entrance, and he goes to Regal. He's like, so Regal, like, what do you so Mr. Regal, what do you think about this Brody King here? Silence. I in my head I'm thinking that like JR's like, what the fuck, man? Talk. Come on. You have a problem? Speak. It's just a
Man,
fucking entrance, man. Talk.
I think he just didn't want to talk to the guy's entrance. I think Regal knew, but good Jay, I don't give a shit.
But clearly it was building up to Justin Roberts doing the bit, and then finally, once Brody King's entrance was over, Regal finally answered the question. Smart man.
Yep.
Very smart man.
Yeah, I can't find this Rampage fucking card. But
it's like I'll try and dig. You can pick some more than I, because I was setting up the live stream when this was happening.
Yeah, so Brody King comes out. What's it called? Mox comes out to the cut. He had a longer Wild Thing entrance. Actually I have the card right here.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Let me see. Oh, actually, there's a cool stat about the Kingston Takeshita match. This will be it's their first ever singles match, but they did
okay. So it's
yes.
It was Lee Moriarty and Jonathan Gresham versus Gates of Agony.
Khan and Tully Leona. Tully Branch.
Otherwise known as hopefully the better Authors of Pain.
Yeah, but anyway, there's a cool note about the Eddie Kingston matches. It's him and Takeshi's first ever singles match, but they did do battle over Kingston and Joe Gacy's Evolve Tag Team titles in 2019 when Takeshi and Mao unsuccessfully challenged for them. So, little NXT 2K fans, NXT 2.0 fans with Joe Gacy there.
That's interesting. On someone's feed, depending on where you're watching Dynamite, they didn't cut the feed, so you just saw the ring crew set up for Rampage.
Oh wow! They probably didn't factor in the overrun.
That's probably like Fight TV, probably,
or like the British.
The BT Sports.
Yeah. But anyway,
I'm trying to figure that out.
The match was fucking great. I was excited for this because it was two guys who've been in New Japan Strong a bunch, and they're very accustomed to the Japanese style of wrestling and strong style.
Oh,
so
it was even like so this guy got to see Tony cut the pre-show promo as well.
Oh, sick. But that'll be online soon, I guess. But anyway, the match itself was pretty good. Very hard hitting. Brody was chopping the shit out of this guy. And it was kind of funny how the guy who is in the main event, this was Brody King's first main event on Dynamite. It's kind of cool. It's in Rochester. I got another guy named Brody. But this was a very stiff match, very hard hitting. Brody King hit a couple Brody Lee moves. He had a boss man slam in there too, which was cool to see. Brody King and Tony Storm have the best corner spots in the business. Tony Storm's ass and Brody King's cannonball. They're fucking amazing looking.
Well, it's like both him and Kevin Owens do a great cannonball spot.
Kevin Owens does. Yeah, Santana and Ortiz doing it because Santana jumps off of Ortiz's back and does the cannonball. But
with bigger guys doing that, it's like getting hit with a brick.
Yeah. I actually on Dark too. Bear Country, Bear Boulder puts Bear Bronson on his back and does it. They do it together.
Jesus,
it's slow, but it's like cool to watch. But this is great stuff in this match. Power bombs, cannonballs. There was a pile driver spot. But the method, because they kept showing the end of the Royal Rampage when it's actually kind of cold. I'm like, maybe they have Brody King win. I think he's a good guy to have win. But the finish was him choking out Darby and
best
hanging
finish
him
I've ever seen.
Yeah, and then just best like battle royal finish, hanging Darby in a rear naked, hanging him off and then just dropping him to win. That was an amazing finish. But so this was a real cool.
Boom.
Oh,
it was
go ahead.
No, I was about to say I was about to talk more about the battle royal, but go ahead.
Just quickly, just to note this, that before the match there was a Daniel Garcia promo just talking about the Wheeler Yuta match. So just go look out for that. But anyway, this match it ended with Brody getting choked out by Mox, which I really, really liked because they didn't pin Brody King, they didn't submit Brody King, they didn't make him look weak. He passed out. He passed out, and they protected him on the way out. They did this with Lance Archer. That's how you
do submission finishes for bigger guys.
Yes, you do. And guys you want to protect. So I remember them doing this with Lance Archer a long time ago on Knox. So with him getting choked out, I think that's the best course of action. He didn't look weak at all. He just passed out.
It also they did the same thing for Eddie Kingston too, back when doing the Mox feud.
Yep, and Brody shined in his first ever singles Dynamite main event. So good for Brody King. I'm glad he got the spot, and this was a nice, fun match, nice, fresh matchup, never before seen. And hope to see more of this up to until Mox gets to the CM Punk match eventually.
Correct. Yeah. And then I guess just the wrestler of the week. I'm realizing now a lot of other places are doing the wrestler of the week now, stealing our gimmick. Even though it's been a thing for AEW, they kind of talk about it on their Twitter. But like for us, we kind of shout out a lot of people. I think it's time to give it to fuck it. I want to give it to Daniel Garcia. Just have it. He hasn't gotten it in a long time.
We always give it to Jamie too, but I saw a sign today. I have to mention this. I saw it signed tonight. It went up once before the women's match. It was the most clever sign ever. It says no one that had the greater than symbol, and then it said hater. So it says no one is greater than hater. So I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, we got a viewer. We got a viewer in the crowd. And then there was some, and listen, I felt bad for my mom. I went on a 3-minute rant about this. This is completely off topic, but there was a guy that a sign that said put Yoshi's Cookie on Nintendo Switch. And then I went,
God damn it.
For some reason, this fucking enraged me because you could literally play Yoshi's Cookie on the Switch, but it's not the American version. In Japan, Yoshi's Cookie was called Panel de Pon, and Panel de Pon has no Yoshis in it. But the American version of Panel de Pon turned into Yoshi's Cookie. So if you want to play Yoshi's Cookie on the Switch, it's just called Panel de Pon. It's literally the same game. It's just with little cute anime girls instead of Yoshi. So you can literally play Panel de Pon, but it's just not called Yoshi's Cookie. So just stop bringing that bullshit sign to Dynamite when you can literally play it on your Switch right now. It's called Panel de Pon, not Yoshi's Cookie, you dope. But anyway, obviously Jamie Hope, but I'm gonna go with a pick tonight. I was gonna say Wardlow, but we've given it to him a bunch over the past year. But I'm gonna go with one I've never given it to before. He just added me on Pokemon Go, and he just finally got his finally got his first piece of merch on New Japan. He finally has merch. First time ever in his career, he's got New Japan official New Japan merch. He's got T-shirts, he's got towels. All the Japanese people he's got their towels waving around in the crowd. He's very popular over there, and that's the Sauce God. The king of Taco Bell, the Sauce Alex Zane. He's been doing great stuff in the Best of the Super Junior in New Japan. He just teamed with Kushida and Tanahashi and a great 6-man tag. He's been ripping up Japan. He's very popular right now, and he's been doing great stuff. He's a breakout star this year. I'm very excited to see him continue to do so. So I'm gonna go with Alex Zane.
Speaking of New Japan, keep an eye on our Instagram because I finally got a chance to completing the trilogy, I think, or the 4, I don't know, the 4 matches of Ospreay and Shingo.
Yes.
Finally got to fully sit through them and digest them.
What are you up to?
I think what I just watched, I watched Kenny and not name one.
Naito.
I have Naito.
Yes, that's a great match.
I watched that one. Which also, what fucked me up was there's 3 different Kenny Omega and Naito matches.
Did you watch the G1 final one?
I made sure to watch that one because it didn't have a thumbnail. That's what kind of threw me off about it.
Yeah. Okay. That's the best one. That's the best Destino Naito's ever hit, by the way.
Was crazy.
Yeah, that's the best Destino Naito's ever hit, where Kenny just like swung around. That was unbelievable. But to prepare for the G1, I guess I'll just give these a little if anyone who's watching wants to get into New Japan, there is a lot of free matches from the G1 on the New Japan YouTube or free on New Japan World.
Or any of them Zack Sabre Jr. matches, because you gave me all of them.
Maybe
from last year.
But no, my top 3 G1 matches are Kenny and Ibushi, Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi, Kenny Omega versus Tomohiro Ishii, both of which are from the G1 Climax 28, and the one from G1 Climax 29, Kazuchika Okada versus Sonata, which is an unbelievable bout. I'll never forget watching that, eating breakfast, freaking out with my mom. During the summertime, just in like at 9 a.m. in the morning watching this. It was an unbelievable match. Also, a match that he added on to this. So if you guys don't know, just real quick before a lot of time before we ended, Christian gave me a full list of New Japan matches to add, and he gave me the one
that has the headbutt heard around the world. The Shibata and
Yes.
Okada match.
Mhm.
That's
So
just, I can't wait to
that's
watch
what
that
almost
one.
killed him.
He's done that spot too many times. I've seen. Like he's done the headbutt because that headbutt busted him open hard way.
Yeah, I actually a little piece of news here. You mentioned the Colt Cabana stuff.
Yes.
6 hours ago, Sean Rossap tweeted, Fightful Select has been told that Colt Cabana was originally not expected to be re-signed to AEW, with his continuous relationship with CM Punk originally rumored among talent as the reason. Then things changed. Dax Harwood just tweeted out like an hour ago, 100% complete fabrication. I hadn't read the article. I just wanted everyone to know that no one is getting anyone fired. Let's fucking go. So we'll see where
Okay.
that goes.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
we'll see.
Well, that was another thing we talked about when Punk first came back. Like, did they bury the hatchet? I would assume so by now.
Maybe. I don't
Punk,
know.
but Punk is known to hold grudges, but I don't think. I think in a personal.
I don't think they buried the hatchet. I think they just probably just are tolerant of each other.
Yeah. But all right, guys. We thank you all for watching. You'll catch us all next week for Fighter Fest Night 1.
Fighter Fest Night 1. We got the triple threat tag match, and we got Claudio versus Jake Hager announced so far.
And then it's up for debate whether or not we might do Death Before Dishonor. That's up for debate as well. But Thank you guys for watching. We will catch you all next week.